Okay, now we're moving on to the media section of our online business portfolio. Within the media section, these are the things that we're going to want. We're going to want a clear picture of ourselves, and here's an example of me, and well, as you can see, it's me. And that's what we want because, of course, we're representing ourselves. And we also want a logo. Now, we're going to be we have some sort of business behind ourselves, and in my case I have Rich Media, which is richmedia.design online, and here is my logo, which is going to represent my branding. As I'm a designer, my business is Rich Media, and down here you're going to need a Word document, or you're going to need some sort of solid text document that is jam-packed with all your information, all your education, all your certification, all your job experiences, um, a resume full of copy and paste information that you will be using for your online portfolio. And last, we're going to need some media along the lines of what you do. You have some logos, you have some graphic designs, you have whatever service you're involved in available in media format. And we'd spoken before about the Google Drive. Hey, you can put all your stuff there. Now, within that media, we're going to need things for our social platforms. And in this case, Google Plus, we're going to want some header media, this, that, and the other. And we're going to accomplish that within Adobe Illustrator. And here we are in Illustrator. Now, I'm using Illustrator. When you create your online portfolio media, the graphic software you choose is up to you. You can use Fireworks, you can use Photoshop, or in this case, Illustrator. Now, what I've done here is I've set up an artboard at the size of 2,200 pixels wide by 1,300 pixels high. Because in most cases, the media that you'll be creating will require a picture at least that big across all the platforms. And when designing at this size, it's safe to say if we hit the middle of our design, most of our graphics will be seen right across the board. And when we're linking up our site and creating other social media sites along the lines of LinkedIn and Twitter and all that, and any other sites that require these sorts of things, then you can rest assured it's going to be large enough to fit. Now I'll explain briefly what I've done here is I've imported the largest picture I have into Illustrator with the sizes I described. And I fell a little short on this picture because we want something nice in the back. But I've made up for it simply by creating a background of black to fit in there. In most cases, you're not even going to see that edge anyway, so that's fine. And we take that layer and we lock it up. But maybe first, before we do that, instead of having this stand out so much, we're going to use the opacity and bring it down, make it more transparent. Because we are working with a black background, we have chosen the dark side of the Force, I guess. So let's try to bring this down, and it's just going to be faint, and it's not going to stand out all that much because we're going to be putting stuff over top of it. And if it does stand out too much, it will take away with what we have going on with our design and our branding in here. Now we're just going to lock up our layers, and I've created a new layer up here that we're going to work in some text first. Now we're making a text box. What we have is we viewed this so the artboard fits in the window so we can see the whole thing, and we're going to be working out the middle. So with a text box in here, let's start by just putting our name. And you can see that's extremely small because we're working at such a large scale, and it's black, which we're going to change right now to at least a white so you can see what's going on. Maybe we'll keep these colors black and white. That can sort of be our branding. Either way, let's increase the size here up to at least a 72. In fact, we can make that even more, 140. Sure. Stick that right in the middle there, just to give us some sort of placeholder, something to look at. That's what it's all about. Is of course I'm going to be cramming a lot of information and going fast with this design, but these are things that you might want to spend a lot of time doing, hours, days, and just getting it right. Because here, this is the creative stage in the creative process. Now we have all sorts of different texts, all sorts of different things we can do. For now, we're just going to keep it simple. And as I said before, these are things that you're going to spend a lot of time on. Get it right, get it perfect, go through different versions. What I'm just trying to accomplish here is getting that red maybe a little lighter, the way I want it. You'll see there. It's going to stand out a little more. Okay, so let's export that out. We have our name, we have what we are, we have a nice little picture in the background, just so we can get this into place and see how it looks. We're just going to export it. We have our files already selected and set up. We name that something we can obviously remember. We're going to use a PNG, calling this media profile 1. Just so we know what's going on. We use all the optimization presettings for Illustrator as is, and we should be good to go with that. Now we're in our edit profile section of Google Plus, and we're going to insert the header graphic that we just made. So we have it here, and it's giving us the option to crop it and select the area that we want, and right in within this area looks nice. So we click done, gives us a little preview. We click save, and now you can see the design we just made in Illustrator, and it gives our name and what we are, and it looks pretty sharp. Now, while I'm here, there's really no harm in creating a post. And what's up with me? How about something along the lines of lion's head design, small. And I'll just go and find myself the lion's head design that I was working on to post up to everyone so they can see, because I'm being social and I'm interacting and I'm trying to build up a network and everything else like that. So here we go. I'm going to post that up, And that's just going to let everyone on my network know, hey, what's new with Brad Surgison. And as far as my header and everything else goes, I think I'm going to keep it minimalistic. Now, just using a basic Arial, keeping it clean, minimalistic, that's the way I'm going to go. And at any given time, we can always head back into Adobe Illustrator, add all sorts of other stuff. We talked about incorporating a logo and designs in here. Well, that is the place to do it for sure. Heading back into our Google Plus page, we can see the post that we created with our nice little lion's head graphic design here. And let's go check out Adobe Illustrator. And if we go Adobe Illustrator right here, it's going to tell exactly who's made it, who's created it. In this case, I don't think that's the official Adobe, but over here we have Adobe Illustrator Professionals, and I can join that club. I am an Adobe certified professional, so I specialize in the whole creative suite, but if I want to get involved and see what other people like me are up to, other designers, I can just do all that right from my Google+. So now that we've created our media, let's have a quick rundown of Google Plus and the control panel and how to maneuver around. Now this is your profile with the design pictures we've created, with people we're following, with our posts, and what we're interested in. This is the page that other people will see when they come to us. We can also go home, which gives a complete rundown of the people we're following and their posts and what they're doing and their blogs. See, our post has appeared here. And other people can see that. From there, you can go on to collections. Now, collections are featured blogs and articles and tutorials and everything under the sun you can possibly imagine to get involved with and follow. You can always go to the search and find things that you're interested in and get involved with these, especially with groups. If you share a specific interest, you're passionate about something, get involved with that group. It's fun thing to do. So there you have your collections. And then we go into our communities, which we have our YouTube communities and other communities available that you can get involved with and be a part of. Heading back to the profile, and over here is your people area and your connections, your business connections, people that you're involved with, following, and everything there, your groups. So that would all be sorted out within the people. And your account settings. Your account settings, you go in, make sure to give that a thorough examination and set that up properly for yourself. Those can also be accessed up in the top right hand corner, where there's also notifications and everything else available. And there you have the first of many social networking sites set up with your Illustrator graphic designs and branding. Now within Illustrator, we used a picture that I've taken at the mall of the ceiling. I put opacity on it and brought it down. I'm using a black background and I've inserted text. I'm simply using Myriad Pro. As far as text goes, it's 140 pixels. That's a red. That's a white. And from here, I exported it out as a PNG file, and I saved it to a folder. The dimensions of this are 2,200 wide by 1,300 high. And this gives us more than enough space for all the profile background pictures on the social media sites and other business sites that we're going to be using this graphic for. Done in Adobe Illustrator.